Come back, this is the marketplace. The cabinet has approved the proposed takeover of ECG by Filipino firm Meralco. This would now pave way for Parliament to scrutinize documents covering the planned takeover before giving its blessings, possibly by next month. Chief Executive of MIDA, Martin Ison Benjamin, tells Joy Business all the necessary works have been done for Parliament's consideration.
Before Parliament rises, Parliament will rise at the end of July. Parliament will rise at the end of July. And in June, yes. So the process, already we've gone to Cabinet. Cabinet has already looked at the document, so it's gone past Cabinet. We don't know the outcome of Parliament. Cabinet decision in terms of the fact that I haven't received the letter, but I know Cabinet had a very good look at it and they were comfortable with the outcomes. And therefore, we expected that they will release the document to through the Ministry of Finance and the Ministry of Energy to Parliament. Yeah, so the process depends on what the cabinet sees. But I am aware that Cabinet is comfortable with the discussion that took place.
So once Parliament okays it,
then it's operational. But then you will need an additional 7 months to discuss a lot of related issues. You understand me? The basic agreements have been discussed and negotiated, and everybody is comfortable. But it's like having now been given the keys to a house, you start buying furniture and buying this into it, and everybody, you have some work to do together before you hand over the keys of the house to the person who is going to be the next tenant. That is the process, and that will take about 7 months.
The Chamber of Commerce and Industry is warning of severe crisis for businesses if drastic measures are not taken to deal with the recent challenges facing the cedi. The local currency has depreciated from about 4 cedi 30 pesos at the beginning of the year to 4 Ghana cedis 70 pesos. There are still predictions it could go down further before the end of the year. Speaking to Joy Business at the launch of the Chamber Awards Business 2017, President of the Chamber, Nana Apia Eje Dankawoso I, says innovative ways must be taken by managers to firmly stabilize the cedi.
Seriously, it has been an issue I've been talking about all this while, because most of our trading and investments and all other things that we do to improve the economy is all around the dollar and the major currencies. So anytime there is a fall of the cedi, I become so much worried. Seriously, become so much worried, because all the imports that we make and the taxes and everything go up. And when that is done, it is the final consumer that suffers, and it also affects the the general economy.
So do you think this could be one of the main priorities that you wish government focuses on ahead of the mid-year budget review?
Yes, please. Because you see, there should be some level of interim measures, because it's all it's a fight between the export and imports. And, to improve our exports takes some time. But there must be some absorbers that have to be taken as a measure to make sure that at least the cedi is stabilized.
In our business stories, the need for business professionals to employ creative strategies in their day-to-day operations would come to the fore as various organizations gather for this year's Design Thinking Conference in Accra. Design thinking is being promoted as an approach to problem solving within organizations, as well as to promote brands. This year's conference, which will open tomorrow, will focus on how organizations can use design thinking for competitive advantage purposes and for social impact. Founders of Design Thinkers Group, Anne Van Ostrom and Dela Kumaho, have been speaking with Joy Business ahead of the conference.
Here in Ghana, I think there is a really good opportunity to use this new this wave of this new thinking to jump ahead, because I feel that creativity and which is accompanied by passion and emotion and problem solving. I think that in Europe, we lost a lot of that. We are way behind. If I'm here, I'm thinking we don't have to teach people a lot here. I mean, you have a lot of the things that we try to teach in Europe already in place.
Interesting stuff. Dela, you're in Ghana. Tell me about, we've talked about the future and problem solving. How do you think design thinking can help us in solving our problems here in Ghana?
It's the kind of thing that when it's not there, you notice it. But when it is there, things seem to run smoothly and it's not really a problem. But you can definitely look at some of the challenges that we have in government, some of the social challenges, some of the ecological challenges that we have, never mind sort of corporate and business challenges, and say that, design thinking is needed in terms of how you apply empathy, so how you understand people. That's probably the biggest thing. A lot of times you see initiatives coming up and not a lot of thought has been put into what the people who are going to use that initiative, that product or service, really, really need, on the one hand. And on the other hand, you can tell it wasn't necessarily thought through from a prototyping point of view. Like, it wasn't really, it wasn't thought through. So those are ways in which you can see design thinking, a need for design thinking. But I think that's true as much here as it is anywhere. Yeah.
And now to one of our top stories. And the United Nations has instituted a board to come up with some modalities for African countries that are yet to be part of the Africa Continental Free Trade Area Agreement. The members of the board, which has already been inaugurated, are expected to engage finance and trade ministers of Nigeria and South Africa, as well as other countries which are yet to sign onto the deal. This was disclosed by the Executive Secretary of the United Nations Economic Commission for Africa, Dr. Vera Songwe. She says Africa needs more than half of its member countries on board to achieve significant results from the deal. Dr. Songwe was speaking on the different perspectives of transformation at the national, continental and regional levels, including the critical role of global partnerships and the private sector.
And so what is going to end up happening for bigger countries is they're going to realize that if they don't come with the game, they may not make it. And so our sense is we need 22 countries for ratification. We're working very hard to get to the 22. And I must say Rwanda, Ghana, Kenya and Niger, and we should clap for them, are the first 4 countries that have ratified the CFTA. Our mission over the next 6-7 months is to get 22 countries. We are sending out teams to every country, any minister that is here that needs support, any country. We are sending out teams to ensure that people can ratify. Once that is done, then I think that people will begin to see the benefits. Our analysis shows that we will have a 53% increase in continental trade if the CFTA is ratified and actions are taken. What does that mean? It means that we will be producing more on the continent, we will be selling more. Analysis that has been done in the ECA also shows that we just don't only want to sell, but we want to produce value. And we produce a lot more value when we sell amongst ourselves. So economic integration for the continent is not a code phrase. It's actually about jobs, it's about employment, and it's about prosperity.
Now, challenges to building good quality human resource base for sustainable businesses continue to undermine organizations, especially the rural banking sector. To this end, Amenfiman Rural Bank has initiated an internal system to equip employees with the requisite skills to replace aging and retiring staff. CEO of the company, Dr. Alexander Asma, says it is incumbent on businesses to consciously build the capacity of its employees. Prince Apia was at the launch of the Amenfiman Talent Academy program and has filed this report from Kumasi.
The Amenfiman Talent Academy program, ATAP, is a 2-year human resource training scheme. Personnel undergoes the training with help from mentors and coaches from the industry. Officials say it is part of the bank's effort to becoming a net exporter of human resource in the rural banking industry. Chief Executive of Amenfiman Rural Bank, Dr. Alexander Asma, spoke to Love Business at the graduation of the first batch of beneficiaries in Tarkwa.
We did this program as a strategic move to create a pipeline for succession. We are looking into a future that we can have people that we have groomed, inculcated our own culture into them, and provided them with the capability to take their business into the future. So we don't have a situation where we have to fill higher roles from outside, and then we can grow people from within to take up. That's the first thing. When we're able to do that, we're going to have improved performance of the organization, and then we're going to be able to achieve our vision of remaining the best and the leading bank in the country. Thirdly, we're going to have some financial results as well. When we improve our performance, it's going to count for shareholders, it's going to count for employees, it's going to count for the business, and everybody's going to benefit from it. From the individuals we are training, we know that this is a commitment to them. They are going to improve their personal development, and they are going to be competitive, not only in the rural bank industry, but in the banking and the financial services industry as a whole. And lastly, to the industry, our aim is to be a net exporter of human resource to our industry. We are not looking at a way if somebody lives here, we are losing. We are looking at a way if somebody lives here, because of what we have provided for the person, he becomes a positive addition to the industry.
The participants also had the opportunity to intern at various institutions within the industry. 18 out of the 28 people who accessed the 2016 edition of the program qualified for selection and graduated in various skills. Managing Director of ARB Apex Bank, Kojo Mata, encourages other members of the rural banking industry to emulate Amenfiman's initiative.
But we need the human resource, and for that matter, the right human resource, to be able to serve our customers better. And once we deliver good customer service, they will use word of mouth to propagate the message that rural banking or rural banks are not what they think, but then the good customer services that we render will speak for itself. We want to encourage other rural and community banks to embrace what Amenfiman Rural Bank has started, so that we can have quality human resource in our banks, or improve human resource in our banks to be able to serve the customers better.
Prince Apia reporting.
Now, Ghana is said to be among the top 15 countries that produce coconut across the world. With an average of 350,000 tons produced annually, thousands of the fresh fruits are consumed on a daily basis. Well, for George Anand, this is enough reason to drop his certificate in electrical engineering and pick coconut husks to create wealth. Let's have a repeat of the Joy Business Van now.
The meat and milk of the coconut palm are widely enjoyed all over Ghana, used in the preparation of several dishes and snacks. But wait, that's not the only good part of the coconut palm. Follow us to Sherman to meet George, a 40-year-old making wealth out of coconut waste. Done with the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology and with a degree in electrical engineering, George joined the countless Ghanaian youth desperately looking for employment. His desperation to gain employment landed him Fibre Wealth.
Cool, searching for job and all those. I met this white man who was interested in this fiber, which I decided to do a lot of research, and then based on that, I started developing the interest. I was not looking at the money by then, but I was looking at the opportunity so that I could bounce on that. So I started doing research about it, The first time I have to use stone to beat the coconut to be able to get some kind of fiber. And then based on that, the idea came because then I was like, okay, what kind of machine can be able to break the coconut into that fibrous nature?
With free raw material, George produces cocoa peat, coconut fiber, and coal from the coconut shell. For now, George concentrates on cocoa peat, which is used as a medium for planting.
Our customers are basically the horticulture industry, and then also some few farmers, and apart from that, the new modern of this assembly coming out with a one house, one toilet. You know, most of these who are building this one house, one toilet are using our fiber to for the chamber that the fecal matter goes in there. Yeah, so that is what is fetching us money for now. Yeah.
With just about 4 years in the business, Fibre Wealth has over 40 retailers in several parts of the country. With capacity of producing 500 bags in a day, George has bigger dreams.
International market is very huge because there are some companies who have written to us on mail, sending us requesting for our samples of our product, which they've used, and they are very happy with that. But the challenge has been is that they want it in blocks and not in sacks as we do. We package it here, you know, because most of them they tell you that they are in their country. You can't import anything in there which is in sack, or else you are going to pay the penalty. You are going to pay more. So then it makes your product more expensive and all that. So you know, we are looking at us getting investors that will come in, and then we're able to purchase those machines that we can do them into blocks, so that immediately we can start production.
George's prayer is not only to make money out of his business, but to help clean the environment. Okay, so this right here is all wealth. Now in other countries, they do not only get products from the coconut itself, but then from the waste like this, they're generating as much as $1.4 million. That's from the country like Philippines. Now here in Ghana, we may have thought we have done all we can with the coconut plant, but today we can see that more can be done by not only creating jobs, but also giving back to what nature gives us. Reporting for Joy Business, Karen Dodu.
Catch another edition of the Joy Business Fund next Wednesday with a repeat on Thursday on the Marketplace. And this is where we draw the curtains down on this edition of the Marketplace. We keep having you. Many thanks for watching. My name is Emmanuel Abwaji. Enjoy the rest of the day.